Good day, everyone. This is the presentation of Alvarez, Basona, and Diaz. For our problem, face mask makes communication even harder for people, especially for those who belong in the deaf community. With the rise of COVID 19 cases, everyone is required to wear face masks where our mouths are completely covered. This makes it difficult for people with hearing disabilities to read lips. This is a problem because communication for the deaf community partly relies on being able to see someone's face. There are multiple problems that has been vocally reported in the United States, and we have managed to find some via KTVU Fox. We would like to feature this too. For the first report, whenever San Jose resident Jackie Collins needs to ask someone a question in public, she immediately hands the person two things: her cell phone with a message typed out and wet wipes. Collins, who is deaf, relies on lip reading to communicate with hearing people. It makes it difficult for Collins to understand what they are saying. Collins said she now asks people to type their responses on her phone, and she disinfects her screen once the exchange is over. Now that I can't read lips, I have to use my phone and text people, she said. When they give it back, I wipe down my phone and then I give them their wipe. For the second report, Campbell resident Lisa Lynch said before people were required to wear masks outside, she didn't need to tell anyone she was hard of hearing. Lynch is able to lip read and could respond directly to people's questions or comments. All of a sudden, when people started wearing masks, I had to tell people that I'm hard of hearing, Lynch said. Lynch said not being able to read lips is frustrating for her, as people don't always understand how to communicate with those who are hard of hearing. While I am certain that their problem is also experienced by others with the same disability. According to the World Health Organization, over over 5% of the world's population, or 430 million people, have disabling hearing loss. 432 million adults and 34 million children. According to a survey sought to find out the pandemic's impact on those in the hearing loss community by Hearing Loss Association of America, in partnership with Cochlear Limited, 70% of those with hearing loss say they are more aware of their hearing loss due to the pandemic. 95% of the hearing loss community say face, mask, face masks or coverings have created communication barriers since the pandemic began. 89% reports experiencing accessibility issues since the pandemic began, including but not limited to the ability to lip read due to face masks, physical distancing making conversations harder. Well, I can only imagine their struggle during this pandemic. According to Reuters, the introduction of mandatory face masks in London has made life very difficult for the deaf community. It has significantly increased anxiety about going into public places. In London, those traveling with or providing help to deaf people are exempt from wearing face coverings under the rules. Given the current out of hand situation of COVID 19 in our country, this rule is not really applicable here. The solution: the coherent and an inclusive face mask. It is a locally made and reusable face mask with a clear panel over the mouth to restore important visual cues and help individuals, especially those who are deaf and hard of hearing, communicate easily, to unite and be inclusive of those who are feeling left out because of the communication barrier brought about by this pandemic. That is all for our presentation. Thank you for listening.